Good evening, people. Good evening. Yesterday was an eventful day. You had Epstein files drop, which was nothing there, nothing to see. Everything was, that shit was in black. That shit was blacked out. Everything. From page, from every chapter you want to look at, every section, blacked out. And I'm like, damn, what the fuck? So what the fuck did y'all release this shit for? Like, it's clear who y'all protecting. And, people, they're gonna come out with the, well, why didn't Biden drop it? Why didn't he? You know why. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, saying she was convicted. She just was convicted 2022, whatever. Boom. That wasn't a major topic of discussion. This man threw this shit out there on the campaign, like, yo, we want the Epstein files. People want the Epstein files, and we're gonna be so transparent. You had Pam Bondi. We're gonna be so transparent. I got the file on my desk, and then the next thing you know, they're not trying to release nothing, and then they do this. So the people that really believe in MAGA and really believe country first and all this shit, those people are disappointed. I'm pretty sure they're upset. And the people that are full of hate and they use MAGA as their hate microphone, because as long as he's in power, right, they're in power. That's how they feel. They're empowered to speak how they want to speak. They feel free to express themselves, like their racism and their hate. And as long as he's in office, they feel like they have backup. Because he's used these people as a stepping stone to get in the White House, and they don't get it. And he don't give a fuck about none of y'all, man. That man is an opportunist. He saw that y'all were the main ones driving, a lot of points home about, immigration and things like that, and it got some people started to see it. I was like, damn, you know what? Maybe they have a point. But it was always hidden behind America first, all this shit, and now we get to see who is America first, and who actually believes in American values, and who actually are just selfish people that are driven by hate and racism. And those are the people that are going to continue to back Trump and say, well, and of course, he got his yes men in office, that he's handpicked and appointed and put in all these positions. Of course, they're going to say yes to everything he does. The first term, it wasn't so much yes men as it is now, because he's handpicking these people. You got a guy that came off of Fox News running the fucking Department of Defense. Now it's called the Department of War. You promised us you're going to get us out of these wars. I'll get us out of Ukraine in 24 hours. And what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, Israel we can stop that war quick. Shit that never happened. It's still going on. And now, ever since he's been in the office, right, all of the people have been exposed that, are working with Israel as, we're supposed to be working for our interests, but actually have Israel first. We're seeing all these people get exposed now because they feel empowered and emboldened by a president who hasn't said anything to give the American people any confidence that this is a transparent administration. So, it is what it is, man. And like I said, a lot of his supporters are driven by racism and hate. A lot of them people really believe in MAGA as well. So all of his supporters aren't haters, but they just are just partisan people. And it's like, when are we gonna get out of this party shit, man? Oh, I don't like Democrats, and so I'm just voting Trump. and you know, so you'll support anything and not do what's right just because you don't like the party. Or I don't want to side with a Democrat. You sound fucking stupid, man. You know, I don't give a fuck if you're a Democrat or Republican. Right is right, wrong is wrong. So that's that right there. You know what I mean? So then you had Mano a Mano last night, man. Shout out to Alicia Baumgartner. Shout out to the other young kid. He had a second fight he won. Shout out to Anderson Silva for the second round KO. And shout out to Anthony Joshua for restoring faith in boxing, as far as, you know, a lot of people were looking like, damn, man, you know, boxing is losing its luster a little bit. It's losing its credibility. And he had to bring the credibility back and show Jake Paul that there's levels to boxing. And not only that, there's a difference between amateur and professional boxing. And you know, Jake Paul learned a valuable lesson. I mean, it was valuable because he made some millions out of that. So to Joshua, you know, since I was a little, you know, some of us were disappointed. We thought he should have got him out of there quicker, but it ended brutal. The boy went to the hospital. His jaw was broken. His spirit, you know, was probably a little bit broken. You know, I doubt he'd call out another boxer. Again, he's talking like, yeah, I'll take him. Fam, you're not going to get in there with no Canelo. Canelo might do worse, man. You know, like these are professional fighters. They know where to hit you. When you look at the punches that he finished them with, and you look at what he started doing, when he see Jake Paul, you know, he ran around the ring and burnt out himself because he knew I was telling, oh man, like, them punches hurt, man. Every time Joshua hit him, I know them shits was hurting, man. And I feel like, you know, that running took a lot out of him. He should have been, be on the move, but don't run. You know, circle, you know, throw a few punches like he was doing, or try to do, you know, throw some punches, throw some combinations, tie him up, pivot him, make the referee have to work. And I think that strategy would have worked for a little bit, you know, but of course, you know, Anthony Joshua is a professional boxer. He's going to make some adjustments, and, you know, that's what he did. And eventually he started to, you know, every time you hit him, you see him going for the takedown, man. Like, he ain't one to feel them hits, man. Like, that's what it looked like, you know. And on 6th round, he lined them, man, because he had him in the corner. He pinned him, then he threw a hook, threw a left hook that set up the jab to the body with the straight right over the top, man. That shit was brutal, man, the way he set that up, man. And when you're not I mean, anybody can get hit with those shots, even professional fighters. But, you know, Anthony Joshua was a knockout artist as well, too. You know what I mean? Like, but he got the job done, and he wasn't in no real trouble in that fight. That was just you know, it was pretty much free money for him, man. You know, so Jake Paul got the experience, you know, what real boxing is, man. You know, for real. Like, I think if he was serious about boxing, he would have started, like, after Nate Robinson, he would have fought a couple of, you know, tune-up fights to see where he at. Then you step it up with some, you know, with a couple of decent names, you know, and a little bit more tougher. Just come up the ranks. Sorry, I'm tired, man. Just come up the ranks, man. He didn't come up the ranks. You know, he saw the bag. You know, he already, you know, had influence and following, and he saw that bag, and he said, man, fuck coming up the ranks. I'm gonna take advantage of this shit. And, you know, he did what he had to do to make his bag, but you didn't get the proper experience. You're fighting YouTubers and ex-UFC fighters. These are not professional boxers, man. You needed to be in there with professional boxers to get the experience. So I think he should have started, you know, like how everybody else did, start at the bottom, work your way up. And have about 4 or 5. He could have had about 4 or 5 tuna fights and still sold, you know, the pay-per-view and made a name for himself. And then you step in and try to take somebody's belt, and then now it would have added to the drama. You'd have been a real fighter, but the gimmick of the YouTube thing might be over, because now we know you get in there with a real fighter, you want to sleep, man. You know, but shout out to him for lacing them gloves up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no shade on him. He got in there and he laced them up and he tried, man. It's just that, you know, it's different type of levels, man. You know, so shout out to them brothers, man. And before I get off this thing, pause. Let's talk about LeBron for about 2 minutes, man. So, I don't know if Austin Reeves played yesterday, but I know he was out for a game or two, right? And that gave LeBron a chance to, you know, get in there and get some shots. I know Luka's still carrying. Luka's gonna be Luka. So all this getting mad at Luka, he don't play defense. And we knew Luka don't play defense in Dallas. But like Dreamers Pro said, you gotta put a support cast that's good enough around Luka that can mask that defensive fault that he has. And now you got another guy that don't play defense in LeBron, then you got another one at Austin Reeves. Somebody got to sit down. Or somebody, you know, you don't have enough defense out there in your starting rotation. You know, so LeBron, he you know, Austin Reeves is cooking, and they were playing decent defense when they had Marcus Smart out there and, you know, Jared Vanderbilt, and all those guys are getting playing time. But now since LeBron is back, their defense is faltering, man. And you know, of course, he's got his campaign going. They should bench Reeves. Now Luka don't play defense. It's always this drama, man. Just, you know, fam, like, just hang it up, man. Like, Kobe took a back seat. Why can't you, man? Let these young boys play, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, fam, man, like, you still trying to, just to keep your numbers above 20. That's all the shit is, man. The average over 20. Make sure you average. They got the 10-point shit. Like, always some shit that, you know, with these fucking stats, man. But, you know, what can we do, man? It's LeBron, man. Anyway, let me get up out of here, man. It's time for me to go, Coolio. It's getting too hot. Anyway, man, I'm out, man. Many Face Publishing, man. Peace.